Hey everyone, we are back with another episode of our podcast. We're the football tailgaters, and we talk everything about the NFL, including your picks for bets and fantasy. As usual, I have here with me Yams, the Jets fan, and the unbiased football fan, and myself, Aaron, the Cowboys fan. And we have three topics, as usual, as always. One of them being the Cowboys controversy right now, to be specific with the quarterback position. The undefeated Cooper Rush, 4-0 as a starter. Very big deal, right? There's always drama going on in Big D with the whole quarterback controversy. There's talks of, like, should you even start Dak Prescott when he comes back if Cooper Rush is hot and so on. We'll talk about that, and then we'll also talk about the report that Tom Brady and his wife are divorcing. And is this going to be impacting his personal life? Is it impacting his play in, or I guess on field, right? With the Tampa Bay record, they're not playing so hot right now. And lastly, we'll go over the Week 5 bets, as usual. So why not start with the Cowboys controversy, which, oh boy. We were having, I think, a talk about it. I might have been not while we were recording. I don't remember, but we were talking about it. No, yeah, we weren't recording this. Andy and I were talking about it, about starting Dak Prescott, and if it would affect the rhythm of it, if they're still playing hot, right?
Right.
Why are you going to bench someone who's doing so good right now over your starting quarterback? But then, I think this is a very clear black and white situation, And there's one side or the other. You're going to start your quarterback that you're paying millions to, which I was saying. And I think that's what Stephen Jones was saying. He was kind of making that point that, he's our starting quarterback. And quite a bit of people, in the media have been saying, you're starting the guy that you're paying millions to. And then the others are saying, start the guy that, has been winning you these games lately.
That's me.
So what do you guys think about that?
Well, I mean, I kind of like to start because, like you're saying, it's kind of, you're either on one side or the other. One, either, you would just want the guy that you're paying millions and millions of dollars with compared to Cooper Rush. So once Dak Prescott is back, just start playing him, which I kind of disagree. In football, you want to win a Super Bowl. You want to win games. So whatever's working, don't mess with it. Jim Harbaugh did the same thing when Alex Smith went down, when they were doing when they were winning with Alex Smith. He went down, and then Kaepernick came in, and they started winning. And he stated he's going with the hot hand. Don't mess it up. That's why you should go with Cooper Rush. If he's winning games, continue winning with him. And then later, if Cooper Rush starts like struggling or whatever, then you put Dak back. It's the same situation when Tony Romo and Dak Prescott, the 2016 situation. Tony Romo was the starting quarterback. He went down, and Dak Prescott came in and was just on fire. He was winning every single game, and they were doing it really, really well. That's actually one of the best Cowboy years, if I can remember. But when Tony Romo was healthy, he even said it himself. Like, this is how did he say it? It was a really it was a smart term. I don't remember if he said like bureaucracy or something like that. But basically saying that in football, whoever's playing better, that's how you have to go with, and that's why he stepped away. He understood that, and I'm saying the exact same too. Now, after the season, you tell Dak Prescott, this is still your team. Next season, you're still the starting quarterback. And I'm just saying if everything goes well with Cooper Rush throughout the whole season, right? But if you start struggling, then yeah, of course you put Dak back because you want to win games. But currently, you don't have to change the situation if it's working. You have the Los Angeles Rams, which they didn't play that well on Monday Night Football against the against the San Francisco 49ers. So you have the Los Angeles Rams. You can win that game with Cooper Rush. And then you have the Philadelphia Eagles, which is the only undefeated team out there right now. And if Cooper Rush beats the Eagles, then you have after that you have easier games with the Lions, with the Bears, and then you have, I believe, the Packers, and that's a second test that you have to go and beat. And if he just keeps on winning, like, why mess with it? Maybe this is the formula, that the game plan that the Cowboys needed, and it's what's working. So don't mess with it, in my opinion.
Now, why not? Because it's been a thing before where they were very known for, especially, Kellen Moore on the offensive side. Whenever they're struggling in the first half, they go in the second half almost seemingly not changing anything. Now, all right, you change your game plan this is the point I was making off the recording, is if you're changing your game plan based on who's starting, why don't you just change your game plan with your starting quarterback that's not working as well when you put in your backup? Like, is that not a clear sign? You change your game plan revolved around, instead of Dak Prescott, it's Cooper Rush, because they're both obviously different players, right?
Well, what if that chemistry between Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott is not working, and Kellen Moore can't figure out Dak Prescott's skills?
Could be, very much so, and that's clearly they've seen that. So, like, why aren't they changing anything, right? So why aren't they firing Kellen Moore? Why aren't they trading Dak Prescott?
Well, look at Kellen Moore's, like, who he played with. He was playing backup for Tony Romo, another type of pocket passer. Look at Mike McCarthy. He had Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, pocket passers. What is Dak Prescott? Not completely a pocket passer. He's more about running and doing his own thing, kind of like Russell Wilson type of play. So right now they have a complete pocket passer. So this might just assemble more to their game plan. Another thing I kind of want to bring up before, I'm sorry, Ems, that I want to say is, I believe that Dak Prescott is better than Cooper Rush. I completely believe that. But in this type of game plan, it just fits Cooper Rush. Am I saying that Cooper Rush is going to do better in another team now that he's winning some games with Cowboys? Absolutely not. It just fits him. This type of game plan fits him, and he's doing pretty good. Now, with Dak Prescott, I mean, you can say that with Cooper Rush, he hasn't beat like great teams, because you have the Cincinnati Bengals that were trying to figure themselves out. You have the New York Giants, and you have the Commanders. So everybody's like excited. But what has Dak Prescott done in the last few years? He has beaten all of the NFC East teams constantly because they've been struggling, and other sucky teams as well. But with the hard teams, he struggles. It can be the exact same thing with Cooper Rush. So it's not like a big difference of talent there to be able to say, well, you know what? Dak Prescott is just super way better. Like if it was Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers compared to their backup. So I do think that Dak Prescott is better, but it's just showing that right now Cooper Rush is just being able to win at this type of gameplay.
Well, we'll see this Sunday, because they're finally facing someone that is actually competitive compared to the other teams.
I don't
right?
even think if that could be it, because look how they played yesterday.
No, yeah, for sure. But it's the Cowboys, and they'll struggle against those kind of teams. On paper, talent-wise, the Cowboys struggle against those kind of good teams.
I don't know, Aaron. That defense that Cowboys have, that's the only reason that's one, like the biggest factor, not the only reason. That's the biggest factor why I believe the Cowboys can be very successful, that defense. And I believe the defense
can the offense produce? That's the frustrating part. We all know the defense can win it. Mm-hmm. Can the offense do something? That's the frustrating part, that the defense is going to get tired if the offense keeps doing nothing. And that's what frustrates me, because they don't know how to do it properly. They do the job, as you've seen in the past games with Cooper Rush, but that's because it's a different game plan. We'll see. This is why this is an important game, to see if the offense is capable of producing.
If you compare the offense of the San Francisco 49ers with the Cowboys, whose offense do you think is better on paper?
Well, 49ers. Yeah.
By how much? By a lot?
Not by a lot.
By a good margin.
Not in my opinion, not by a lot, but they've played better teams. Because
if you compare the players, their star player on the offensive side is clearly Deebo Samuel for San Francisco.
Right.
And for Cowboys, it's CeeDee Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at the running backs, which the running backs for 49ers is more of a committee compared to...
Yeah, Fred Wilson. So you can... Yeah, maybe Fred Wilson right now is better than Zeke, maybe. But it's not like completely like a huge big difference between Pollard and Zeke and Fred Wilson, and I don't know who the other guy is that they play with 49ers. But then you have Brandon Ayuk, and you can put
was there Elijah Mitchell
or Noah Brown?
No, it's not Mitchell. No, it's another guy.
Elijah Mitchell, isn't he injured?
He's injured. Yeah. There's another guy that's getting but not as much as Jeff Wilson. Yeah. It's because, look, Rush has only beaten Bengals, Giants, Commanders. It's not exactly the most difficult teams to beat.
No, but Bengals, I mean, aren't they starting to look kind of on track?
So they beat the Jets, and then they beat the Miami Dolphins. We can all say that the Jets are not a good team. Miami. I mean,
Everybody was praising Miami.
right.
Well, Tua went down though.
Tua went down,
and
so
then
I don't
Tua
know.
went
Maybe
down.
it would have been a different story if Tua was still playing in the game. And also, Miami's a brand new team, brand new head coach, brand new weapon. So we also don't know, how sustainable they'll be.
Yeah, maybe Tua was already injured from last year.
Right,
I mean,
right.
from the last game.
So I think, in my opinion, those are two teams they faced are kind of, we don't know the identity of Miami yet, and then the Jets are still positively rebuilding. So they have the Commanders too, who I think they're a mess, honestly.
Right.
So I don't think we should even be entertaining this topic that there should be a switch at quarterback. If Cooper Rush goes into and plays the Rams and he plays lights out, I mean, he has to put on a good show, better than Jimmy Garoppolo did. Who played the Rams before that? Was it Tampa? Either way, he has to be like a huge difference to show, okay, you have to ride with me. I'm all about riding the hot hand, just like you mentioned, Andy, with Jim Harbaugh when he did it with Colin Kaepernick.
Well, look, we remember the Rams when they lost the season opener against the Bills. They got destroyed by the Bills, 31-10. And then they played the Falcons. I mean, I don't think...
What was the score?
31-27. They barely won that game by 4 points. It was a high-scoring game. They went into the Cardinals, which I believe the Cardinals were going to be better than they were, and they won 20-12. And then they lost 24-9 against the 49ers on Monday Night Football. So I can't see right now that the Rams is like a huge team to defeat, even though they're Super Bowl champions.
No, but he has to show up like how Buffalo showed up against
100%.
them for him to be, okay, let's go ahead and ride with Cooper Rush. But if he comes and just plays it safe like he has been, taking care of the ball, I don't see why not go back to Dak Prescott. Unless his hand is not 100% and he's not being able to grip the ball, I say you go back to
I
Dak
wouldn't.
Prescott.
If he still plays how he's playing, I would continue sticking with him because he has been protecting the ball. He has been throwing it to the open receivers. He has been winning the games. So continue going with the hot hand for the meantime. I'm not saying like it's a full house or whatever. I'm just saying that it's the game plan is winning.
So
yeah,
helping.
but these are horrible teams.
I want to justify just a little bit of what the Rams got, right? And compare it to the last season, just to kind of put a perspective of what kind of team they are, right? Last year, they went 0-2 against San Francisco, and then they lost to Miami Dolphins, which are not the same Miami Dolphins right now. And then they struggled against the Cowboys and won by 3 points last year. And then they lost against Bills, which is a very good team. And then, let's see, what else we got here? The Jets won against the Rams last year. Do you remember that, Yams? 23-20.
The Jets won against...
No, the Rams beat the Jets 23-20.
Do I remember this? No, I don't remember. I probably blocked those out.
Well, go ahead.
You know, the point is that the Rams are kind of like a wild card where, they can perform, but also not. They lose against obviously they've had tough times with their own division, but then it can kind of depend, right? And they have the talent, that's the thing. And that's what I'm saying. It's just the Cowboys type of luck to struggle against teams that are looking bad but are supposed to be good. And that's, I think, the type of situation that we're going to see in this game is everyone's like, oh, well, the Rams aren't looking like how they were before. But, like, you still can't. Because also, I want to point out some things that Cooper Rush wasn't playing perfect, right? I want to point out that interception he had that could have been key. That was wiped off because of defensive penalty against the Commanders, right? Of like a mediocre defense right now. It's those mistakes that kind of make you realize that the Cowboys get some luck in these games too, right? But aside from that, it's just a coin flip with this game, and you need to see this is gonna be the game. My point is that I'm saying this is gonna be the game where we find out if Cooper Rush is gonna be starting for the rest of the season, if he's finding a rhythm or not.
But he has to find more than just a rhythm. He has to be throwing darts and throwing it to the...
He's not.
He's not,
because he's not that...
Exactly.
He's a decent quarterback, and that's why you should start Dak Prescott, because you need to figure out now what the hell are you going to do with this quarterback, with the guy you're paying millions of dollars to. Figure it out, because that money's going to waste. Why are you? Okay, yeah, I get it. You want rhythm, right? You want to win games.
Well, as a Cowboy
but what's going to
fan,
happen next year?
Well, as a Cowboy,
they're not going to the Super Bowl with Cooper Rush.
How do you know?
Who was the quarterback in San Francisco that Jim Harbaugh decided not to play?
No.
Who was it? Alex Smith. You said so.
Right.
It's because you have to make sure that you make such a move. I mean, Dak Prescott isn't Alex Smith.
No, but that's what I told. I would have handled it differently. Like when I was saying regarding the Dak Prescott situation with the Tony Romo, I would have told Tony Romo, like, dude, everything is they're winning, so I'm not gonna mess that up. They're doing really well. Let's continue with this. This is still your team. Next year, this is still your team. You're gonna get this team back. I mean, this is your team. Unless Dak Prescott wins the Super Bowl, then you have an issue, right? But how they lost that year against the Green Bay Packers, now that they have a better team, you know what Tony Romo could have done. Maybe he could have played better. I mean, I know that he was getting injured a lot, so probably he would have gotten injured, in my opinion, again. But, you never know. Like, that Tony Romo, in my opinion, Tony Romo is more talented than Dak Prescott. So, you never know what could have happened the following year
Expect disappointment, and you won't be disappointed. Because it's
very complicated.
It is very complicated, and you can't compare Coach Shanahan with Mike McCarthy.
No, what are you talking about? Jim Harbaugh.
No, well, I'm talking about this Monday night game.
I can't compare them.
No, you can't.
Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl.
Fine, you're right, but come on, who's a better coach?
Oh my God, he got carried by Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he did get carried by Aaron Rodgers, but he did go to the NFC Championship with Brett Favre and stuff before that too, and he was in playoffs a lot of the time.
And he's been to the Super Bowl.
So
as a 49er.
just saying. Didn't we see reports today? Like, we're praising for the Dallas Cowboys. We're praising how the Joneses, right? The Joneses, the Dan Quinn, Kellen Moore, how everything is to Cooper Rush, but people aren't saying anything good about Mike McCarthy. He's the head coach, and they're winning.
Okay, but listen, the Cowboy fans need to get off the high horse for a bit, because I don't think you're going to have the game you saw yesterday with San Francisco and the Rams. It's not going to be the same thing.
No, I'm not saying, but for me, it's like, continue to prove it. If Cooper Rush continues to play how he's playing, and they're still winning, games, don't change it. Just don't change it. I'm not saying that this is going to be Cooper Rush things forever. I'm just saying, because this is football. The whole point is to win. Deal with it. And I've seen quarterbacks that are not that great go to the Super Bowl. Even though I'm going to mention a quarterback that wasn't good, two of them actually. Trent Dilfer for the Baltimore Ravens. They won a Super Bowl with him, and it was all because of the defense. That's one in the early 2000s. Rex Grossman was another one. Horrible quarterback, but he went to the Super Bowl. Lost against Peyton Manning and the Colts. Hold on. He lost against Peyton Manning when he had a great defense with the Bears defense. They did lose against Peyton Manning, but it was Peyton Manning and the Colts. And you can say, okay, Nick Foles. He had a great Nick Foles is a great example, like you bring up, because he went to the Rams, was unsuccessful. He went to the Jaguars, was unsuccessful, but in Philadelphia he was successful. Why? Because he had a game plan specifically to him, which is working with Cooper Rush right now.
Okay, so what makes you say, this is what's frustrating for me, and this is why I say it keeps going back to the coaching staff, and yes, Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore are at fault, is because, okay, this game plan is working. Why don't you compare one another, putting Dak Prescott instead of Cooper Rush with that same game plan and see if it works out, and adjust things to how they should be with Dak Prescott, because they are different players. And like we've said, we all agree here that Dak Prescott is a better quarterback than Cooper Rush. And they cannot work long-term with Cooper Rush.
Again, why are you going to mess it up if you're winning? If you're in a video game and you're playing and you're beating everybody.
Exactly. I don't understand. You don't want to go back to the guy who played lights out for you last year? Now you're just basing off 4 games of Cooper Rush?
It doesn't matter what happened in the past. What's happening, it's right now. Right now, what's happening, and it's working for the Cowboys to continue winning. Why are you gonna mess it up? If Dak Prescott can have a completely set of skills, maybe he can't be that pocket passer. Kind of like, look at Russell Wilson. He's trying to be that pocket passer, and it's not working for him. I think Russell Wilson is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but it's not working for him. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't mess it up.
It's a complicated issue because of their schedule, right? Their schedule isn't the toughest. And what worries me is what's going to happen. It's going to be deja vu all over again, where they have an easy schedule, going to the playoffs, barely make it to the wild card, and they get whipped out by the 49ers. I don't want a fluke season because this guy's going to play well against teams that are not good on defense and they struggle, right? There's a lot of decent teams where they're going to play, but we know they could win because of a better game.
Well, that's
plan,
what I'm
right?
saying, Aaron. If he loses against the Rams and the Eagles or whatever, if he wins against the Rams and goes to the Eagles and loses, then okay, I'm good with putting Dak Prescott back because you need that type of talent.
What I want to say is, okay, let's say he plays lights out. He plays great throughout this whole season. He's winning. We get to the playoffs where he actually plays a competitive team. They're not going to go against.
And Dak Prescott has won you those playoff games? I'm confused.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Why are you wasting your time? Okay, so wait. Let me backtrack real quick, because they're going against the Rams, which is maybe a playoff team. And then we got the Eagles, who are undefeated right now. And they're for sure going to be a playoff team based on how they've played. The Packers may be a playoff team.
No, they are.
The Vikings.
Aaron Rodgers.
Well, you get my point. So those are going to be the games that are going to be pretty good. Okay, if he loses that, like if you just put them up, okay, put the Cowboys with Cooper Rush against a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
Eagles.
Does the Cowboys win?
No.
We don't
there
know
you go.
that.
That's all.
That's my point. We don't know. We have to see it.
And that's why I'm saying Rams is going to be the game where we're going to see it. And if he plays bad, you put in Cooper, you put in Dak Prescott. And also, the time is ticking. You're going to have to pay Micah Parsons. You're going to have to pay Trayvon Diggs. You're wasting money, and you're wasting the years of these players when you know you can fix this situation.
We're playing the what-if game. What if he goes all the way to the NFC Championship and loses? Now you have a decision to do.
What if he wins? Yeah.
What now you have a decision to do. Let's go to he goes all the way to the NFC Championship and loses. I know it's a big what if. It's going to be week 5, right? It's going to be week 5. So I know that we're talking a little bit early, but we're playing the what if game here. But if he goes to the NFC Championship and loses, the furthest that any quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys has ever gone to, all the way, like it's been since Troy Aikman that they haven't gone to an NFC Championship, and Cooper Rush gets you there. Are you telling me that you're going to be like, hey, well, Cooper Rush, thank you. You did pretty good. Now Dak Prescott, come here. No, that's a good opportunity. That's actually might be a really good opportunity for the Cowboys to be like, you know what, Dak? It's not going to work out anymore. Peace out. Trade him and have somebody else pay off his contract. Now you can pay Micah Parsons. Now you can pay Trayvon Diggs. You can pay a lot of players because you don't have Dak Prescott's huge salary.
Well, I think what it's kind of coming down to is this is the year where we find out if Dak Prescott is going to be a long-term quarterback for the Cowboys. Is it not? Is that what we agreed to?
Is this the 4th year?
No, next year's going to be the 4th year.
No, next year, yeah. Next year's going to be the 4th year. But are we kind of like in agreement here that this is kind of like the clock is ticking for Prescott, don't you think?
No, I would have put even the next year to be the last year, and then you can decide what you want to do. Even if he didn't, because I'm sure that Dak Prescott was going to play so like how he has.
But
played.
We know he can't beat good teams. He lost to the Buccaneers.
Then you're kind of making my point here that we should see what Cooper Rush can do if he continues winning.
I love an underdog.
Yeah, that's
story.
why. And if you, so I just the problem is it's paying him to a ton of money to be in your bench, right? That's the problem. And if it's successful, then
the
his
Seahawks
value
did the
goes
exact
down.
same thing with Matt Flynn, and they went with Russell Wilson. The Seahawks got Matt Flynn, paid him a bunch of money, and luckily they're smart enough to say, you know what, Matt Flynn, even though we paid you a lot of money, this rookie is actually way better than you, and we're going to play because we want to win a Super Bowl. And guess what happened? They went to the Super Bowl and won, and actually won again, and that was their mistake.
Everyone's being played by Jerry Jones starting at such a topic. It's he's just saying it to motivate Dak Prescott.
I'm the unbiased.
So what's our final thoughts here? What's our final thoughts here?
Go for it, yeah.
Look, I remember the score Rams against the Jets. That's the one that made them move up in the draft and not get Trevor Lawrence. My final thoughts is, honestly, if they decide to roll with Cooper Rush, it's only because he played lights out this Sunday against the Rams. Lights out. I mean, he is throwing bombs and throwing in tight windows, and he gets to start. I don't see him doing that, so they're going to go back to Dak Prescott with against the Eagles the following Sunday for Sunday night.
And I agree because I was seeing the issues with Cooper Rush, and he was getting bailed out against the Commanders. He played good enough, but let's not mistake that interception that I keep going back to. That was wiped thanks to the Commanders drawing a penalty.
I don't think the Cowboys come out with a win, by the way.
I think it's going to be close, but that offense, man, it's really frustrating sometimes. They can't produce enough points. They're a low-scoring offense, and that worries me, and I don't think they'll be capable of doing that.
Well,
all
I can say is that Cooper Rush, when it's gone down to like crunch time, with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Giants, he produced. And he doesn't just stare at one wide receiver. He looks throughout the field to find the open man. So for me, even if he wins this game against the Rams, I would continue playing him. But if he loses against the Eagles horribly, then I would think about putting Dak Prescott back. But if he continues to win, I will not put Dak Prescott back. That's my thoughts.
Really quick, Andy, who wins, Rams or Cowboys? Now, let me remind you, the Rams and the 49ers are in the same division, so they're always going to be competitive.
Yeah, I'm going to say the Cowboys because of their defense.
Okay, Aaron?
I think the Rams because of the Cowboys offense.
I think the Rams, too. I think they get it together.
Rams don't have wide receivers except one Cooper Kupp. And a tight end, if you want to call it that way. But
and the whole running back situation is kind of crazy there. But it's just the Cowboys will find a way to be typical Cowboys and lose when everybody thinks they'll win. So, let's go to another quarterback controversy here with Tom Brady and his wife. Andy, you want to take over with that topic? Not really fully
I guess we're talking about
this.
2 divorce topips today.
What's the other divorce topic?
Well, Prescott and Cowboys. I keep saying Cooper Kupp. Damn it.
Well, I mean, there's been reports. I haven't seen if this is legitimately like a final, but supposedly Tom Brady and his wife Giselle, I believe her name is, are gonna have a divorce. Are gonna be splitting up, having a divorce. So we know that. I mean, it's been in the news that Tom Brady has been having some personal issues, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been having some struggles, even though they have won some games. You have been seeing them struggle, but that's because of injuries as well. So it's not all just because of Tom Brady. Tom Brady, for me, he's still looking sharp in everything in every game that he's played. So the question is it going to be affecting him? I don't think so because of how competitive he is and how straight-minded like he is. Like he's really focused. So I don't think it's going to be affecting him. But there is going to be a lot of media talk around of if the I keep saying Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't know why.
Well, some people call them Tampa Bay. It's okay.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if they lose games, they're gonna like point fingers and saying, "Is this because Tom Brady's not focused or whatever?" In my opinion, no. But I'm curious to know what you guys think.
What happened with the Romo situation? Was it Jessica Simpson?
Oh, she was the bad luck for the team, though. They were doing really great, and then she came to one of the games, and it was against the Eagles. And that game, the Eagles destroyed the Cowboys. And since then, the Cowboys were like telling her, you should not ever, ever, ever come to a football game. Ever.
Poor thing.
No. And to be honest with you, Tony Romo played pretty bad that game.
Maybe they had an argument.
No, I don't think so. I think maybe he was nervous or he wanted to show up. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but he got nervous.
I know she hasn't been showing up to the games, Giselle. Last year, she wasn't as supportive as she normally is with Patriots. So that tells me that this divorce stuff has been lingering since last year. So can I say it impacted him back then? No, and I don't think it should impact him now. I think he'll be fine. It's just the team needs work. They're having some problems of their own, the O-line. I
mean, it could be that throughout the offseason, once he retired, this problem came up of like splitting up, and he was like, you know what, I can't deal with this right now. I'm just gonna go back to football and just get my mind off of this stuff and work it out like later.
Absolutely. I do think it's something that it's been ongoing issues between them, and when he decided to retire, which I think it was unofficial, right? But I think Adam Schefter decided to report it anyways. He got pissed off, probably because he was trying to deal with it first. Remember?
Oh, when
he announced it and he took it away from Tom Brady.
Right.
So maybe he wasn't really planning to retire. He was still trying to figure things out. So he said, okay, well, I already got outed. Let me go ahead and retire.
Right.
And came back anyways a month later. He was probably trying to figure things out with his wife. And yeah, but...
Hey, who knows? He might be playing more years than this one.
I don't know. Maybe. I just don't think it'll be a problem with his team. I do think that this problem with his wife has been going on. Not just the summer, not because he retired and unretired. I don't think that's the problem.
And who knows, after this year, he doesn't have to play for Tampa Bay.
I think he should go to Raiders.
Yeah, I actually like him going to the Raiders. Especially having Josh McDaniels there, they can have that old type of Patriots way and figure things out. Especially with all those weapons. I mean, Renfro, Devontae Adams, just like he did with Tampa Bay, with Evans, Godwin. Then he got Gronkowski there and just have a whole bunch of weapons. He can do the exact same thing, just go with the Raiders. But
you think he's got like 2 more years left or just 1?
How he's playing, I think he can play for like 2 more years. For me, he's still like top 3 quarterback, honestly. And there's 32
that
teams.
Hit, he took that one game, this past game that he had, where he just got absolutely nailed. And you can tell, like, his arm, he was just kind of like...
He got up, like...
He looked like he was in real pain.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I was like, oh...
His knee brace, right? It broke?
No, it was his arm.
No.
Oh, the arm,
he
right.
took a hit. Yeah.
It was his arm.
And it was his arm.
There's a report out there that Tom Brady
like,
will take every Wednesday off for the rest of the season. Did you guys know this?
Yeah. But, I mean, it's Tom Brady.
I mean, it's kind of like a thing with veterans anyways. There's things called, like, veteran rest, from what I was seeing. That people, like veterans, obviously, I think Christian McCaffrey was one of them, that they rest for like 1 day because they're a veteran.
Yeah, like
Christian McCaffrey, he shouldn't be resting.
I think he should. He's in my fantasy team.
He definitely should.
So we can say there was actually another storm brewing in Florida, and it wasn't Hurricane Ian. It was a divorce.
I'm surprised they went back and played over there.
You're in a roll. I mean, Florida is typical. Like, I think their cities and everything is like ready for these types of like storms. And it was
not the pictures.
Yeah, not the pictures for sure, but maybe some areas, because I think those areas where the pictures were, it was a section of
it was a coastal
Tampa.
section.
Yeah,
right?
coastal section. It's kind of like a peninsula type of thing. So it was like, on each side there's water, so it's easier for the water to just like be there. Because I've been to Tampa and it's and their freeways and everything, like it looks like they're just more prepared for these types of storms. But
he doesn't look happy though. His press conferences, he just looks kind of...
I'm sure he's
down.
frustrated. I mean, look at his team. He's throwing it to like non-players. Only Evans right now is his top player, but when Evans went down, he had nobody. I mean, Julio Jones, he has been injured every single year. Russell Gage, they got Cole Beasley. Like, he doesn't have any weapons. All his weapons that he had when he won the Super Bowl, it was Evans, Godwin, Gronkowski, Antonio Brown. Like, he had a monster offense.
He did.
And then you wouldn't think that the personal life is kind of adding to it, and he's just not having a good time right now. So that's what we're kind of asking here. Is this kind of just not helping his situation right now with what the Buccaneers are going through?
I haven't seen it yet. I think he's a professional player. He's been playing the game for many years. What is he, 45 years old now?
Yeah. I'm
sure this is not their first fight. Well, this is probably the biggest fight, but I'm sure it's not one of the first fights in their marriage where he has to show up to work and do the job right. I don't have any doubts. I think he'll be fine. It sucks though.
I'll tell you something. Antonio Brown is not helping the situation at all. What a disgusting of a human being, honestly.
CTE.
Yeah, you can blame that CTE because it's insane. I mean, the guy took you into his house trying to like revive your career, and this is how you repay him. What a disgusting guy. This guy should never be given a chance by any team. Any team.
Hey, you were saying he should go to the Cowboys, dude, and I'm like, no.
So is it safe to...
That's my bad. That was really, really wrong.
Yeah, no, he's crazy, bro. He's crazy.
Is it safe to say that we can say that rumor's crazy. That picture he put with
Yeah, that's just
Giselle,
Antonio Brown being nuts.
to
That's
say just to shut it down. Like
yeah.
nothing went down between
No,
them
no,
when
I don't
he
believe
got
it.
invited to their house and hung out with them.
Yeah, I don't believe anything. No, come on. No, I don't believe it. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I mean, it was just a hug. I mean, he stayed in this house. I'm sure that they had a good relationship, like them, like being at the house and everything, and the wife Giselle like knows him and everything, and she was happy. She gave him a hug when they won the Super Bowl. That's it. Like if she probably hugged Gronkowski, she probably hugged Evans. Same thing.
Let's steer away from the controversy and go into our week 5 bets. How about that?
Yeah. For this week, I usually only have like one lock, but I actually have 3 this time.
There's quite a bit.
Yeah.
At least for me too.
And after this week, week 6, the bye weeks start. So it's going to get a little bit interesting for fantasy as well.
Gotta watch out for all your, I guess, players that you have
Yeah.
where they might have the same bye week, which is something that you kind of have to keep an eye on whenever you're drafting, which I try to.
But to give my betting locks, I have the Green Bay Packers against the New York Giants at London. Moneyline Green Bay Packers. The New York Giants, it might be that Daniel Jones is not playing, so that even gives you a little bit more confidence to put that money line in. Then I have Buffalo Bills against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Buffalo Bills is still like a Super Bowl favorite of mine, even though they had their struggles. And the Pittsburgh Steelers defense have been struggling. I don't know if TJ Watt's going to be back. I don't think so. So, and they have Kenny Pickett's a brand new quarterback rookie. So money line Buffalo Bills. And my third money line is Tampa Bay against Atlanta. I just believe that Tampa Bay with Tom Brady and their defense, which is not as elite as I thought with this loss against Kansas City Chiefs, but I still think that they're good enough to stop Atlanta, especially since Cardell Patterson is on injured reserve.
I wouldn't call. The problem with that is because they've been doing really good in the running game, and I don't think Tyler's, Allergy or whatever his last name is. Yeah. I think he seemed pretty good from what I saw last game. I think he'll be able to kind of fill in the shoes of Patterson. And I actually think they have a shot here to win this. They've played a lot of close games.
How did Kansas City running game went with Buccaneers?
Not good.
It wasn't that great. I mean, CEH did catch one, but it was a throw to him.
I don't think
and then
Kansas City has a running game though.
Well, they have CEH and Pacheco, and they were trying to like punch it in the goal line, and they couldn't. So I don't trust that Atlanta running game against Tampa Bay. That's just.
But
me.
this is kind of what's been keeping them close, because where's Kyle Pitts? You know,
like I heard today in a milk carton.
It's kind of what they've been relying on, and it's been working, but they just can't finish the game sometimes. You picked them to win last game.
I did.
And
they won.
And they weren't favorites.
They weren't, but that's just me and my way of thinking
against the Cleveland Browns, which is a good defense, right?
I think no. Garrett was missing, and that's that actually pushed me over to bet on the Atlanta Falcons. Because
so what's the defensive line of the Buccaneers? Because I mean, who's better than Garrett on the defensive side? On the defensive line, for the Buccaneers.
I think that you have to put in the coach there. I believe more on Todd Bowles than the coach of the Browns. So I think he can do like some schemes to stop Mariota and their running game.
I guess. I think it's going to be a close game, and 8.5 for the spread, because that's what their favorites on the Buccaneers. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, it kind of changes. But right now, I mean, I don't think it's a 100% lock in my opinion. So I have the exact same ones for Giants, Packers, Steelers, and Bills. But instead of the Falcons and Buccaneers, I'm taking the 49ers over the Panthers here. They're opening as 6.5 favorites for the spread. I'll take the money line for the 49ers.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Those are mine.
I like that one. I had the same thing as you guys. I had the Buffalo Bills over the Steelers. I actually have Tampa Bay over the Falcons. I like that pick, and I probably would even feel safe taking the spread. But money line will do. I actually have, I don't know if you mentioned the Green Bay Packers against the Giants. Does anyone have that one?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of them.
Okay, yeah. I have the spread on that one. I think -9.5 Green Bay Packers. Because we don't know who's quarterback.
No, but the Giants defense is not that bad.
So you're saying
Yeah,
the
it's not
spread is
horrible.
not...
Yeah, I wouldn't take the spread. I would just take pure money line.
Take pure
honestly.
money line?
Yeah.
Well, I also have Seattle Seahawks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they could probably do an upset here against New Orleans Saints.
The problem with New Orleans Saints is that they're gonna have a lot of players back on defense, I believe. So that's gonna affect the situation there.
But Jameis Winston isn't playing, and it's also Andy Dalton.
Well, I think he has a chance to come back though.
Does he?
I believe so, but it hasn't been confirmed. But I believe he
No,
does.
there's no update yet.
But he does have a chance, even though I don't think like Jameis Winston is like a huge upgrade from Andy Dalton, honestly. But is Kamara coming back?
They almost beat
though?
the Vikings too. I don't know.
Yeah, they
from
almost
what
beat the
I've
Vikings.
seen.
So who do you trust more, Seattle Seahawks or the Vikings?
Isn't the Seattle
Yeah.
Seahawks defense pretty good?
Well, not.
No, you're
Too
right. Because
much.
what happened to the Detroit Lions one?
Yeah,
they
they
were just
were-
scoring up the...
Exactly.
Yeah,
Forward.
no.
Well,
And the
let me-
Detroit
They had a great
Lions were
offense, but a
missing a lot of
horrible
weapons
defense.
too.
That is true. That is true.
No, that offense is
Take
special.
that game off and don't ever talk about that game ever again.
Okay. Okay, all right. It's fine. But let me just add another crazy bet onto my parlay. The New York Jets.
Oh my
I
gosh.
do see them beating the Miami Dolphins. So
That's just what
I'm with you. I'm picking the Jets here.
No, I wouldn't put it as a lock. Honestly, the New York Jets defense.
Nobody's saying lock. I mean, she's saying lock. I'm just saying I'm picking
okay,
him, but
just
I'm not going for
just
a
to
bet.
clarify, I haven't won any. So don't take my words for...
I won my Washington and Cowboys when I said under,
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
and I picked the Cowboys.
I did a prop bet, which we need to start looking into those, by the way, prop player. But I did one on Tyreek Hill against the Bengals, and that paid out.
Mhm.
It was 75 plus yards, and I was like, that's easy.
Yeah, that was an easy one. Yeah, it was good for you. Nah, honestly, all my locks for every week has been Buffalo, and I just lost that one time against Miami. So
Which of these bets do you think can, I guess, are traps? Which ones of these do you guys think are traps? Like, we can say Green Bay and Giants, we can say Green Bay can win that safely, right?
you would
What-
think because actually,
What about
my lock of last week was actually not even Buffalo Bills. I'm mistake. My lock was Green Bay Packers at the Patriots, and it wasn't that of a lock of it should be. They went into overtime and they won by like 3 points, I believe.
Yeah, I saw what's his name, Zappy
Yeah.
or something like that, and you were talking about
I did predict that.
no.
I did say that.
Obviously,
Well, you didn't know
yeah,
that.
he
Hoyer was
went in
gonna
and
go.
played. Yeah, Hoyer obviously started, but Zappy made an appearance too, so there's that. And he didn't play that bad.
You know, one that can be like you're asking Yams about. That can be what'd you say?
Trap.
A trap.
The Houston Texans against the Jacksonville Jaguars, -7 for the Jacksonville Jaguars. That can be a trap. Houston Texans actually is not playing that bad, even though they've been losing. But they do have the weapons to be able to beat this team,
Mm-hmm.
especially how.
I mean, Pierce is looking really good.
Yeah, exactly, and how
Mills.
Mills played, and Trevor Lawrence, he had a really bad day against the Eagles.
You can excuse that with the rain, though. I feel like the rain was just
That's
messing.
football, though. But
it up.
Coach Peterson said hopefully that's just a blip of Trevor Lawrence. So we'll see.
Well, what was that other game that was supposed to be a really good one, and then it started raining?
Oh, the one that was pouring hardcore was the 49ers against the Chicago Bears. And that's when Trey Lance was playing, and
Oh
that
yeah.
one was hardcore.
Do you
Mhm.
guys think that Chicago Bears will be able to win against Vikings this Sunday? Because I feel like that might be a trap. They're giving Chicago Bears 7 points.
It's because Bears have been looking very horrible. Like I think they've been struggling in passing 100 yards and passing.
Yeah, no, for sure. They have a total of 117 in passing and 177 in rushing. But the Vikings not even breaking 100 yards in rushing, sorry.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, this is gonna be my trap. This is my trap. This is my official trap here.
I'll tell you which one is the official trap.
I'm gonna tell you.
Okay,
I'm gonna tell you.
I think we're on the same page though.
Are we?
Yeah.
It's the Pittsburgh and Buffalo Bills for me.
No.
That's the
No.
trap.
No. I'll tell you the
and
trap.
I'm saying the trap because of the spread.
I'm saying the trap is the Patriots and Lions.
Patriots
That's a
and
good
Lions.
one.
They got
That's a
the
good
Patriots.
one.
They got the Patriots winning.
Yeah, by 3, but that's not big.
What's your trap, Andy?
That's not much of a trap. It's just -3. A trap is when it's like, well, in my opinion,
More than 7
yeah,
points.
like a lot of points.
Well,
So
the Buffalo Bills, there's
Okay.
14 points.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, maybe. That's small percentage. For me,
We gotta see how Pickett does.
a trap would be the Raiders against the Kansas City Chiefs. That's 7.5 points going to the Raiders. That's a divisional game. They still have the weapons that the Raiders have. One game they can just get it together and just lose again the other following games, but it's a rivalry game, and they have Devontae Adams, they have Jacobs, they have Renfro, they have Waller, they have somewhat of okay defense, and then Kansas City Chiefs, they can struggle. They struggled with the Colts, so that could be the trap,
That was such a weird game.
which is Monday Night Football, and I believe again 60% of all primetime games are under, but just take
This
that
one's
as
a 51.
This was a 51. That's a high scoring game.
But they're both really, you can tell both of the games, or both of their games in the past weeks have been pretty high scoring. So
Yeah.
obviously that's why it's determined like that. But I don't know if that one's a trap for me.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I feel it's because you guys really convinced me about the Chicago Bears, but I don't know. It feels like a trap to me.
Go ahead and bet it.
I feel like they win. I
Bet
don't
it.
know.
Bet it. Bet for the Chicago Bears to win.
Yeah,
Bet
I
it.
don't.
Bet
You don't need to tell me.
Have you been watching their games?
No.
No.
It's really frustrating. Really
I don't need to watch
frustrating.
another frustrating team.
Oh my. It's because poor Justin Fields.
Their
Who does he
2-2
have?
is very ugly. Very ugly 2-2. They barely won against the Houston Texans. And then they lost against, or they won against, San Francisco, 19-10, but it was pouring, right? And Trey Lance was starting, and that was kind of like a tough game for them. But then they lost against, the Giants and Green Bay,
and
which are
just
pretty decent teams, and Green Bay being a good team.
Justin Fields said that himself and his teammates are hurting more than the fans. I'm not too sure if he should say that. I mean, I know what he's coming from, what he was trying to say, but basically he's just saying like, come on, fans, like you guys don't know how you're feeling, as you're not feeling that angry as we are. Another person that shouldn't ever talk, and he has a problem in his whole NFL career doing this, is Baker Mayfield. He says he doesn't care if the fans boo or not. So
Yeah.
that's not
Let's
a
go
good
Sam
way
Darnold.
to
How
get
about
fans in
that?
your corner, bro.
Dang. Yeah, very underwhelming for them. They lost because I'm looking at their games. So they lost against Arizona 26-16, the Panthers, and then they won against New Orleans, and then they lost against Giants and Cleveland, and they were both kind of close games. The biggest margin when they lost is 10 points, and that was against the Cardinals.
Who are you talking about?
The Panthers.
Oh, yeah, no. And that's another game that you can bet at, but I'll just stay away because their defense.
6.5?
Yeah, the Panthers' defense is not that bad. But then there's rumors that the coach Matt Rule has lost the locker room, so they have their other issues there.
I'm telling you, Sam Darnold's back.
Well, it's because look at all these quarterbacks that this guy's going through. Last year was Sam Darnold, and then he brought in Cam Newton. He drafted a quarterback, having already Sam Darnold, and then you trade for Baker Mayfield. It's like, what are you doing, dude? It feels a desperation of him and trying to find a quarterback, which I get that, but it's not working.
No, he's on the hot seat, and this is his last year as a head coach for the Panthers. Last time I got Arizona. I actually picked Carolina because I felt like they could beat out Arizona. They were close, but Arizona came in at the end and won it. So I don't have any faith in Carolina Panthers to hold a lead or to win a game, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That one's kind of a lock for me.
Yeah.
Instead of the, which one was it? The Falcons. Where is it? Falcons, Buccaneers. I think 49ers, Panthers is a bigger lock for me.
No, I think
Yeah.
Tampa Bay gets it. And that's a bigger lock for me against Falcon.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. I have something about that running game that they might have something going where they might frustrate the Buccaneers and it'll just be a tough game for the Buccaneers.
I think whoever's
and then
gonna
there's gonna be big questions.
I think whoever's gonna be getting those on fantasy, those waivers of those running backs, is just gonna be wasting their waivers, picking up those running backs.
Interesting.
Yep.
Want to say why?
Well, one thing is they have a tough schedule in the next few weeks, and against the running game. And two, there's even though he's going to be placed on and Cordell Patterson.
You're talking about Tyler, right?
Yeah, and the other guy, Huntley.
Huntley.
Yeah, that's the other running back that the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, for Falcons.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I wouldn't even consider him.
well, that's another person that they're considering too.
Well, they've kind of split their share. They're kind of like the Broncos. Tyler has seen a decent amount of carries for being number 2.
Well, yeah.
Similar situation to Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams.
It's going to be kind of like a prove it who's better, and then I'll start you on the following games.
Yeah, it's going to be a committee. So
but the teams that they're playing, they're just really strong against the run. So after that, then Cordell Patterson comes back. So it's not like you're going to get like really strong points, in my opinion, but that's just me.
We'll see about that. Yeah, that's all I got. Those are my locks for the week 5 bets. You guys don't have anything else for your locks?
I had too many locks. I'm done.
One thing I did want to bring up really quickly is I just want to go through the games real quick. So who do you guys have really quickly? I just like a one statement from each of you. The Colts and Denver Broncos, Thursday Night Football.
Boring primetime games.
I think Russell Wilson is gonna play better, and he's gonna take that one.
Is Leonard coming back?
I don't know, but Indianapolis Colts is just playing horrible. Taylor, the running back, is not going to be playing. So yeah, I'm taking the Broncos there. How about the New York Giants and the Packers? We did talk about that. I do believe that the Giants do have a good defense, but the Green Bay Packers are going to take a win over there in London. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Atlanta Falcons, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We did talk about that one. The Chicago Bears and Minnesota Vikings. Yams is going to be...
I know. I feel like I smell an upset.
That's weird, but go for it. Chicago Bears are just playing horrible. They don't have any weapons. They can't do anything offensively. Poor guys. So no, Minnesota with all those weapons and Justin Jefferson and Thielen and Cooks, to give me Minnesota. Detroit Lions against the New England Patriots.
Man, I want to lean towards the Patriots here.
That's an upset.
That could be an upset. I'm with Aaron. That can be an upset.
Who's the upsetting?
Detroit Lions beating the New England Patriots.
Yeah,
Okay.
Patriots are favorites right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
by -3. But it's Bill Belichick, so he has a good game plan probably. It really helps if St. Brown is back. We don't know as of yet.
I don't think he's back, but it's just, we all know how Bill Belichick is with average quarterbacks like Jared Goff.
Very true. Very true. I'm still going with Detroit Lions, but that's my riskiest pick. How about the Houston Texans against the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Jaguars.
Yeah, Jaguars too,
Mhm.
but it can be a surprise and Houston Texans take it. Let's see if Jaguars can continue to forget about the last game and just continue winning. The Chargers against the Cleveland Browns.
I have the Chargers.
It's just -3, honestly. Like -3, the Chargers. So if they're putting it closer than it should be, in my opinion. But yeah, Miami Dolphins against the New York Jets.
Take flight.
I don't know about that. It's too soon.
Let's
Too
go.
soon.
Jets, Jets.
Prove it
Jets.
to me. Prove it to me, Jets. Prove it to me, Jets. And
Well, they proved it to you last week.
You chose against them.
I did choose against them, and it was super close. That game could have gone either way, and
But did it?
it didn't, but it just barely. I mean, I do give credit to Zach Wilson that he did play good in the fourth quarter, but where's quarter 1, 2, and 3? Tell me that. Play well the whole game, and then I'll be more of a believer.
Superstars show up in the fourth quarter. That's all you need.
No, yeah, it's what matters is how it ends, right? And how they end up winning, which at the very end it was pretty exciting, even though it was a horrible interception in that one of the last plays.
It was horrible. Go ahead. Continue.
Pittsburgh Steelers, Buffalo Bills. I think Buffalo Bills just gonna take this one.
Oh,
No
I really
problem.
hope for an upset here, but yeah, Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, no, but they have a strong team. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers have a rookie quarterback. They do have some decent weapons, but I don't think it can match. With
Oh
Buffalo
man, I'm
Bills.
hoping so much that, hey, you know what? Pickett is a 1.
Saints and Seahawks. The Saints are getting some players back, so it's gonna be a game that's going to go in a big time matchup. They have +6 to Seattle Seahawks. So it might be that Seattle might take it with the spread. Honestly. Yeah.
But we're just picking just to who picks
yeah.
to win.
Exactly.
Pick to win, right? I don't know. Honestly, I have to think on this one. I'm leaning more towards Seahawks. I feel like it might be an upset, but again, I didn't know that the defense were getting back for the Saints. So for now, I'm gonna just go with the Seahawks.
I'm gonna go with the Saints on that one because
going with the hot hand right now.
Washington Commanders against the Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee.
I mean, are people not seeing the Washington Commanders play? They're giving them 2.5 points. So I don't know why I would give them at least 6 points. So I say Tennessee Titans should win this game. I believe Treylon Burks, their wide receiver, is going to be down. So
turf toe.
Turf toe, but a major turf toe. So he's going to be out for a while. So Cooks is going to be their wide receiver. So I'm taking Tennessee Titans. Carolina Panthers and the 49ers. 49ers, they've looked great on Monday Night Football.
I don't see Baker Mayfield and the offense doing much against this defense.
Yeah, neither do I. Even though I do think the Carolina Panthers have an okay defense, I still think the defense of the San Francisco 49ers are just not going to be on Baker Mayfield's face. Cowboys against the Rams, Aaron.
The Cowboys against the Rams. I want to lean more towards the Rams. I don't know if the Cowboys would be able to win this one. I think the fact that all this buzz around who should be Dak Prescott or Cooper Rush, it's gonna bite them right back in the face, and they're gonna lose.
Yeah.
You're going with the Rams.
Rams.
Okay.
Yep.
You too, Aaron?
I don't trust the offense.
Okay, I'm going with the Cowboys just because of their defense. The Los Angeles Rams don't have any wide receivers. Allen Robinson's in a milk carton. Higbee's is decent, and Cooper Kupp is their only wide receiver.
So it's gonna be one of those games where that one time it was Trubisky with the Bears, and it was against the Cowboys, and the Cowboys made Trubisky look like he was what he was supposed to be. It's gonna be one of those games. There's gonna be some random player who's gonna be balling out probably.
I think you're misjudging Dan Quinn and his defensive power there. That's just me.
No, I'm misjudging the offense, and the defense is going to get tired. And the defense isn't perfect. Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs can only do so much, and that defensive line can only do so much. They do struggle against the running game, and I think it's going to be the running game that the Rams are going to be doing a lot, and Cooper Kupp might have one of those great games as usual.
I like that you're just expecting disappointment. You're going to have a nice Sunday.
Yeah, and then they win, and I'm like, good.
You're going to have a nice Sunday. Eagles against Arizona. Do you guys believe in the Arizona Cardinals have a chance?
No.
Yeah.
I do too.
They do.
They have that type of team that they can explode like a random week. Even though they have all their issues that they've been having, they can explode. And the Philadelphia Eagles haven't beaten like really great teams. So this might be this could be a game that they might lose. Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. This one's hard actually. But I'm going to go with Cincinnati Bengals. I think they are finding their mojo, and Baltimore Ravens defense is just horrible.
Yeah, this one's a tough one, and I don't know.
It's going to be a high-scoring game.
I want to lean more towards, Baltimore. I don't know. Game time decision for me.
Well, Monday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs and the Raiders. I'm just going to go with Kansas City Chiefs because they look so explosive on Sunday Night Football against Tampa Bay. Even though it's a divisional game, this might be a trap, like you're saying, Yams. Like that the Raiders actually can take this one. Well, I said that it's a trap, but I'm just using your term trap.
I think I'm going to choose the Raiders on this one.
I'm going Chiefs.
Perfect, guys. Just wanted to get your thoughts. That's all I had.
Yeah. Every team I said right now, I'm going the opposite for our pick'ems.
Good strategy. Thank you for telling.
I don't remember.
I think it kind of like defeats the purpose of your plan, but cool.
Yeah, I might be doing that reverse psychology on you right now, though. Am I?
I don't know. My
it worked on DeAndre Swift.
My eyes are crossed.
Now I just confused you, and you don't even know what I'm gonna pick. There you go.
Good luck on your basketball.
That's gonna be it. No, I haven't played it. I only played it like once. They haven't told me to come back, so I don't know. Anyways, that's going to be it, I think, for us. You can follow us on our social medias that we have for YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, Football Tailgaters. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we hope to see you guys in the next episode.
Thank you.
Bye bye.